Workplace bullying is an often hidden and all too common issue that impacts millions worldwide. Imagine working every day with a colleague or a boss whose words or actions make you feel small, humiliated, or helpless. It's an isolating experience that can affect everything from your productivity right down to your mental health. Over the years, I've worked with many clients who have experienced this. One client, a bright young project manager, faced constant passive aggression from a senior team member who would exclude her from meetings and literally sabotage her projects. This behavior wasn't just a difficult personality at work sort of thing. It was calculated, persistent bullying that severely impacted her self-esteem and eventually her health too. And in my own career, I've encountered situations where difficult power dynamics tested my resilience and my emotional strength. And those experiences have given me firsthand insights into what bullying does to our confidence and our well-being. Let's start by understanding the scope of workplace bullying. Unlike a one-time disagreement, bullying is repeated, health-harming mistreatment of one or more individuals, and it can take many forms, such as verbal abuse, like insults, name-calling, or belittling comments, or exclusion, like leaving someone out of meetings or group activities. Or it can be work sabotage, interfering with someone's ability to do their job, such as withholding important information from them. And then there is cyberbullying, which is quite common these days, and public shaming or harassment over email or social media is how that happens. Now, each type of bullying can lead to severe emotional and physical distress for the victim, especially if it happens regularly. Workplace bullying is widespread and underreported. Studies show that approximately 30% of employees experience bullying. In the US, around 48 million Americans are impacted, while in Europe, nearly 15% report consistent workplace hostility. The effects are real. According to the Workplace Bullying Institute, around 60% of those who experience bullying suffer from psychological issues like depression and anxiety. Now, these effects are profound and enduring, often lasting long after the victim has left the hostile environment. So why do people bully? While it may seem irrational, bullying often stems from the bully's own insecurities or desire for control. Research indicates that bullies may have low emotional intelligence, making it hard for them to empathize. And stress and high job demands can also lead to bullying behavior as a misguided attempt to cope with or to mask their inadequacies. But understanding this perspective is not to excuse the behavior, but to recognize its root causes, which is often the first step toward addressing it. I made a great video about the origins of bullying that you can also watch. You'll find the link in the description below. Victims, on the other hand, often feel isolated and powerless, especially when bullies hold higher positions than them. The psychological toll can extend beyond the workplace, affecting personal relationships, sleep, and overall health. And victims frequently struggle with anxiety, loss of self-esteem, and in severe cases, even post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. I talk about bullying among children in another video, for which I've also left the link in the description below. So please watch that as well. I want to offer some suggestions of how you can respond when facing different types of bullying situations. For example, when you are experiencing verbal abuse like name calling, respond with this. I understand you may feel frustrated, but please speak to me respectfully. I'm here to work collaboratively, and respectful communication is important to me. Standing firm like this can help set a boundary, showing that you are unwilling to tolerate disrespect. And remember, you say this firmly, but friendly, with a smile on your face. Another example is when colleagues withhold information from you, or they're trying deliberately to sabotage. I noticed I wasn't informed about a specific detail. Could you please ensure that I receive all relevant information to complete my tasks effectively? And requesting clarification like this with a solution-oriented tone can subtly address the issue without direct confrontation. Now remember, don't take a sarcastic tone. Just take a firm but friendly tone. If you're excluded from meetings or activities, you can respond with something like this. I've noticed I wasn't included in recent meetings on this project or whatever. Can we please find a way to ensure that I'm looped in going forward? And this approach reinforces your willingness to contribute, highlighting the exclusion in a diplomatic way. In cases of gossip or rumors, try this. If there are concerns about my work, I would appreciate direct feedback so I can address them accurately. Addressing rumors with this kind of transparency can, on the one hand, deter the gossip and also emphasize your professionalism. But what about when you're confronted with constant unjust criticism? Respond like this. I value constructive feedback and I'm eager to improve. Could you share specific examples or suggestions for improvement? Now, this response puts the onus on the bully to provide constructive feedback rather than just baseless criticism. Clever, hey? When facing passive-aggressive comments, respond with this. Is there something specific you'd like me to know? I want to make sure there's clarity in our communication. By calling out this indirectness, you encourage straightforward communication and invite them to it. How do you handle public shaming or belittling in meetings? You say this, could we discuss this privately? I'd like to address your concerns without disrupting the flow of this meeting. And this preserves your dignity and it sets a professional boundary against public humiliation. Now, if you're pressured into any unethical actions or you being intimidated or someone's trying to intimidate you, do this. You say, I'm committed to following company guidelines and ethical practices. I'm uncomfortable proceeding otherwise. Standing by your principles can discourage further attempts to coerce you into uncomfortable actions. And when you're experiencing overload or you've been given unrealistic deadlines intentionally to overload you, your response could be, these deadlines seem tight. Could we prioritize tasks or maybe adjust the schedule so I can maintain the quality in my work? And this helps to manage the workload expectations and it shows that you are proactive in addressing unreasonable demands. And I have a few more examples for you. When someone takes credit for your work, you could respond with this. I'm glad our project is getting recognition. I'd love to share the specific contributions each of us made. Now, acknowledging your own contribution subtly like this can reclaim the credit without any direct confrontation. In facing physical intimidation or an invasion of your personal space, you could respond with this. I feel more comfortable with personal space. Could we continue our conversation with a bit more distance? And that assertively states your comfort level and can deter further intimidation attempts. And finally, when you are bullied via email or even online with cyberbullying, respond this way. I noticed a few concerns raised over email. I'd prefer discussing these in person to avoid miscommunication. Redirecting to an in-person conversation often curtails aggressive emails and it helps to set a tone of respect. Beyond these responses, resilience is essential in dealing with workplace bullying. Engaging in self-care practices such as mindfulness, exercise, and connecting with supportive colleagues can all strengthen your ability to handle this kind of stress. So don't neglect that. And if needed, seek support from HR or a mentor or get professional counseling if it's necessary. Workplace bullying is a serious issue, but with the right strategies and support, you can regain control over your work environment. Remember, you don't have to endure this alone. There are steps that you can take to create a respectful and safe space for yourself and for others. If you're looking to build resilience or need guidance, consider joining our Get Up and Grow community where you can learn, grow, and reclaim your confidence.